Hello friends, again welcome to our channel. This is Sir jPats7. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button below for more video updates. I will talk today 5 reasons why relationships fail. These things are very important to know since these are very applicable to relationships even until marriage. There are a variety of reasons why relationships don't go the distance. The main reasons why relationships fail are loss of trust, poor communication, lack of respect, a difference in priorities, and little intimacy. This article discusses why it may cause a relationship to come to an end. I will explain this one by one. First reason, loss of trust. One of the foundational feelings necessary in a good relationship is a feeling of security. If you lack emotional support or find your partner unreliable, you might lose trust. If your partner is vague or hard to pin down, there is cause for concern. Relationships that are built on mistrust are on shaky ground. There are 4 factors affecting loss of trust. First is lying. Let's say you found out your partner lied to you. Lies can have powerful consequences. Was it a white lie or a lie told to protect the person who lied? White lies are often minor or inconsequential, while real lies have far-reaching effects. Second, possessiveness. If you're with a partner who is overly possessive, ask yourself, does this seem healthy? Does your partner isolate you away from your friends or constantly check up on you? These aren't signs of someone who trusts you. Remind yourself that this is not what a healthy relationship is all about. Third, jealousy. Jealousy in small doses can be healthy and a sign that you're not taking one another for granted. But if someone is overly possessive and seems to exhibit signs of pathological jealousy, these are red flags. Fourth is infidelity. If you suspect your partner is being unfaithful, you may feel like the cornerstone of what you built together has been destroyed. You might not trust this person anymore. Are they even who you thought they were? Relationships centered on lack of trust, filled with lying, jealousy, and infidelity, will likely not endure. Second main reason, poor communication. If you're both reduced to only speaking about the kids' schedules or the core list for the weekend, your communication has become merely transactional. Healthy communication should be about lots of different topics. Even if you communicate well, it's okay to disagree. Conflicts are inevitable, and there are ways to manage conflicts with effective communication skills. Communication would be filled with empathy, understanding, and active listening. Unfortunately, many couples find it hard to communicate this way. Although it sounds counterintuitive, when a couple brags that they never argue at all, that's not a good thing. It often reflects the fact that both people are conflict avoidant. They'd rather not rock the boat or bring up difficult issues. It's actually better for couples to express their frustrations and find a way to talk through them rather than not argue at all. In one recent study, scientists analyzed a demand-withdrawal style of communication among couples. This style describes what happens when one partner demands or nags about something and the other person avoids the confrontation and pulls away. The study found that when under increased financial distress, this demand-withdrawal style also increased. Moreover, it was correlated with lower marital satisfaction too. But what was surprising was this interesting finding. Couples who exhibited signs of gratitude and appreciation overcame this communication problem. Third reason, lack of respect. Couples often disagree about various issues, but financial issues are often a source of disagreement. Maybe one is a spender and one is a saver. The problem isn't so much that they view spending and saving in polar opposite ways. It's more about how they handle discussions about money. So, It's important to identify how one treats the other during a conflict about money or any issue. Is your partner respectful? Do they joke with you about it? Or does your partner put you down, roll their eyes and treat you with utter contempt? These are signs of lack of respect for one another. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist and expert on marriage stability and divorce probability, views contempt as the biggest destroyer of relationships. He says contempt is the biggest predictor of divorce too. If your partner mocks you, sneers, or he hostile, it's a sign of disgust. This lack of fondness and respect can cause an irreparable rift in a relationship. Fourth reason, a difference in priorities. If you find that someone you're dating or someone you've been with for a while has vastly different relationship desires or life goals than you do, your relationship may begin to fall apart. These are the factors that affect your difference in priorities. First, different in relationship goals. Sometimes you have different priorities for the relationship itself. For example, after a month of dating, a recently widowed person might want to book a fun gateway trip with you and keep a no-strings-attached relationship. You, however, may be ready to introduce your family to your love during the upcoming holidays and embark on a more serious path. Second, different life goals. Maybe you both have different long-term goals for the future. If you haven't made time to discuss this, it can be upsetting to find out that your partner's dreams and goals differ from yours. For instance, you may want to continue ambitiously pursuing a career in the city for another 5 years. Meanwhile, your partner is ready to settle down next year and start a family in the suburbs. When you can't compromise or happily pursue one path, your relationship will suffer. Having differing goals doesn't always mean your relationship is doomed. For example, it's possible that your goals can influence those of the person you're with. A recent study published in the Journals of Gerontology investigated the interdependence of goals within couples. The research, which included 450 couples, found that partners over the long term do influence one another when it comes to goals. This could be a mechanism that keeps the relationship more stable. However, don't rely on influencing the other as a solution. If one of you wants kids and the other absolutely does not, or one of you wants to live as a digital nomad and the other wants to remain in his childhood neighborhood until they are old and gray, this isn't a fit. A better match might be out there for you. The fifth and last reason why there is a relationship failing. Not enough sex and intimacy. This is applicable to couples only. Oxytocin is sometimes called the love hormone or cuddle chemical. Our bodies produce the hormone oxytocin when we hug, touch, kiss, and show affection toward another person. Increased oxytocin is also associated with reduced levels of stress and feelings of happiness. When couples are not touching much, and the lack of touch is exacerbated by communicating in a style that is not intimate and close, relationships often deteriorate. When your partner is uninterested in sex, sometimes relationships end up strained. The mismatch of sexual desires can erode a relationship along with other factors and ultimately contribute to a split. Sex is very important for relationships. And again, mind you, this is only for the couples. According to a recent study, the average adult has sex once a week. There are many benefits to having sex more often. These include emotional, psychological, and physical benefits. So then, what can make a relationship last? Brian Agoski, Director of Graduate Studies, Associate Professor, Human Development and Family Studies at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, analyzed more than 1,100 studies on romantic relationships. In his research, he identified positive strategies that contributed to preserving partnership. He found one thing that prevented couples from breaking up and could be found in great relationships. Partners that held their partners in high esteem to begin with. The partners in these relationships dealt effectively with conflict and gave their partners the benefit of the doubt. In unsatisfactory relationships, the opposite is true. A word from very well. Relationships don't endure for many reasons, but key contributors to their demise involve issues of trust, communication, respect, priorities, and intimacy. Of course, no relationship is perfect. But if you're finding that difficult moments outweigh the good ones, it may be time to reevaluate your relationship. If you and your partner want to make the relationship work, you can try reaching out to a couples therapist for additional support. Partners should believe in making the relationship work no matter what. Many people enter marriage expecting it to last forever, but somewhere along the way, at least one partner changes their mind. It is vital to talk to your partner about their views and commitments. For example, do they believe in deal breakers? If so, what are they? If your goal is to make the relationship last for life, your partner needs to feel the same way, and you both must be willing to work to make it happen. Prior to marriage, it can be beneficial to attend counseling with a therapist who can help you discuss and sort out differing views. Partners who engage in premarital counseling are also more open to seeing a therapist if and when they encounter marital difficulties down the line, which has been shown to augment their chances of staying together. Remember, the only people who can break up the relationship are the partners themselves. If you both remain committed to make it work, nothing can stop you. Closer to true love is the commitment husbands and wives make and keep regardless of how they feel. The typical marriage vow promises to remain faithful in sickness or in health, in prosperity or adversity, for better or for worse, till death do us part. This love believes in spite of disappointment and remains faithful when wrinkles replace beauty. It's a love that refuses to give up because of difficulties, that determines to work through differences, however long it takes. This love is a decision, not a transient emotion. In addition, always remember that love is not controlled by feelings. It does not do anything and everything it feels. Rather, in true love, the feelings are under the control of principle. All true love comes from God. That tender emotion, that ability to desire, that capacity to care was implanted in our being by the Creator, God. While infatuation is a human pit, true love is a divine ladder. True love uses its eyes to see and to examine the strengths and weaknesses of the prospective partner.